Consistency is the key. I've been consistently uploading to TikTok, but sometimes things aren't meant for you. But I said I'd be doing it for 5 years, and it's been 4 years and 2 months since I went no contact as of next week, the 2nd of August. It's 50 months out of 60, so just a reminder, once you get to 60 months, I won't be uploading life details and all that type of thing unless I get like a upgrade paid job or whatever. I'm not too phased where I live, to be honest. I've been in the apartment I'm at for 2 years. I've been in this region for 3 years. Sometimes I'm thinking of moving overseas, but then it's like, if you move to a foreign culture, wouldn't it be even harder to get a woman? So, consistency is the key. I still haven't given up on getting to 6 figures, and I will. And then from there, it'll just be always aiming to better myself. But the thing is I'm the type of guy that likes to get to the point where I know that I'll never, ever, ever come back. And when I never, ever, ever come back, like I'm going to maintain that level of quality of life forever and not crash down to where I used to be or go down to where I used to be. I'd rather take 2 years to, I'm just giving you an example. I'd much rather take things slower, but then never ever go back, rather than to skyrocket and have this improvement of life quality and everything. But then 2 years later, you're back at where you used to be, or you're in a worse off position. I'd rather be the one that took 2 years to get there, but then he never, ever, ever went back. He never, ever dropped in quality of living. You know what I'm saying? And guys can learn from my mistakes. So instead of taking 5 years to get there, you can take 2 years to get there, and then have a 3-year head start. And if you are similar to me, or you can be a quitter, because autistic and ADHD people have a much more harder time in the world, but some of them actually quit once they get to about 22, 23 years old, because they've done all these things to try and get ahead in life, and they still haven't had employment because of the prejudice. But sometimes, it doesn't affect intelligence. The reason why it doesn't affect intelligence, because I know some autistic people in all 3 levels that are highly intelligent, like above average intelligence, but most of them aren't succeeding because they're highly intelligent and is not viewed as valuable in this current society. But it is like most people can't wrap their heads around it or figure out the things that they can do, and you know what I mean? But then there's those who are of average intelligence at everything, and that's them at their best. And then there's guys like me that when I'm at my best, I'm average intelligence at everything except for maybe 2 or 3 things. I'm not average, and that's what they call a savant. That's what Forrest Gump was in the movie. He was of like average intelligence in everything except for 2 or 3 things. Obviously, he was a good businessman. He was a good militant soldier. And like most autistic people, a very, very, very loyal friend. and very forgiving if you screwed him over. But he didn't forget though. He didn't forget. Because if he forgot, he didn't know what they were up to. Why was he recalling everything that happened, and why was he talking about it on the park bench? That meant that he had, well, obviously he had time to go over that and all that type of stuff and put it all together, but then at the same time he didn't find himself to be a loser in life, did he? So but then you have those who are lesser intelligence than everyone as well. And so you can be like the ones who quit at around 22 years old and be unemployed, because every year it fluctuates between 75% and 85% unemployment rate. Or you can be like me, and then like every year you aim for like 4 things that are going to be like life-changing. And then you accomplish them, and then you make them the norm by the end of that year. And then next year you add it up, and then obviously you're at the point where you're earning the same amount as your average person, which is where I'm at now. And I'm pursuing, and I know I'm coming up to the point where I will earn. I'm getting to the point, hopefully within the next year, but possibly within the next 2 years, in the next year, where I'll be earning double the amount as the average person, because this person. So yes, consistency is the key, but sometimes things aren't made up for you. But if you never give up, you'll find a way, and you'll do very well. So long as you keep learning and keep learning. Talking about being normal things, see, like, about the whole getting to $1,000. It used to be the aim, and then I'll be like, yeah, I'm going to keep it at that for if anything comes up. Now I get frustrated and a little bit, not heavily, but a little bit annoyed about it. I get annoyed about it when I'm not there, because I'm so accustomed to it. It's the norm. It's my bare minimum. And then, once I'm earning higher pay grades and all that type of thing, I'm going to get to the point where I'm going to push for 10 grand. Go watch Trend Genius channel. That's where I got. Well, it makes sense, you know what I mean? But if you're an average earning person where you're getting $1,000 a week, and then that's before tax, and then all that type of thing, and the bills, and then things keep coming and going, and you got to reward yourself for your hard work too. $1,000 is good, but if you but all it takes is for a warrant of fitness to come up, and if it's a warrant of fitness and a couple of other things, you won't be able to pay that up with $1,000. So you need to get to 10,000. Consistency is the key, people. You don't want to be improve these things for your life and then maintain it, and then 2 years later you're back to where you used to be, or in a worse place, because you were like, yeah, I'm going way up here, and then you ran out of gas, and then you never, But if you aim for like 3 or 4 things and make them the norm by the end of that year, and then you don't even have to think about it the next year, and then the next year you add another 3 or 4 things, because those other 3 or 4 things from the previous year have become the norm. You do it without even thinking now. That's what I'm talking about. Like the junk food. Did you know this year I didn't put in a goal that I couldn't eat junk food for a year? I didn't do that. But it was nearly 2 months into this year, or just over a month, 2 weeks ago? And that's 2 months into this year as of next week, the June to June. And the thing is this, I remembered that it wasn't one of my goals. And when my mate, when this person, I felt like friends, but I sent them 3 texts in the space of 2 weeks and they haven't replied, so. But we went to the movies, and I thought I'll have a pot of popcorn, because I remembered it wasn't, but then I felt bad afterwards again.